Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions, if not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Look
Good
who's with
evening.
me. The work husband. Yeah, he's been laughing at me calling him the work husband. Yeah,
It's cute.
I know. What's funny is that it kind of started with my real husband. He's the one that said it.
I know that blew me away when you said that. Mark said, call John. He knows everybody. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
That's high
boy.
praise coming from him.
I know, right? It really is because he never really says anything,
Mhm.
Like, I'll fix some big fancy meal, and work my butt off getting it done, all of his favorites, dessert, everything. And
Mhm.
I'll go, "Well, how was it?" And he'll be like, "It was fine."
That's good.
Like,
I have one of those too. It can be
and I'll
frustrating.
be like, "Well, thanks a lot." And he'll be like, "What? I said it was fine." I'm like, "Well, fine
Yeah,
was not what I was after."
right. Maybe just a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little. Just a little. "You stop crying. I'm right here. I got a puppy that wants in my lap.
Oh
She's
no.
too big to be lap puppy."
Mhm.
So she's been a big old sissy ever since we had her spayed the other day. So
Oh
she's
yeah,
been wanting to be right by mommy.
I bet.
Yeah. So anyway, oh, you're gonna now Duke's gonna scrunch in with her. My whole lap's gonna be dogs in a minute.
Jockeying for position.
I know it, right? Quit. It's fine. So they lick my arm, and I'm like, "Ooh, quit."
Ew.
Life at Susie's. This is what it
Yep.
is. It's chaos,
Yeah.
24/7. We have a big king size bed, and me and Mark sleep on the very outside edges.
With
And 2
dogs in the
dogs
middle.
are in the middle, spread out, stretched completely sideways across it. Ugh, it's annoying, but oh well. We love 'em. Uh,
That's
yeah,
funny.
absolutely. Just a quiet,
Yeah.
peaceful dance. I agree. I think this might be the show I need too. Sometimes that happens,
Mm.
right? It just the right show comes along at the right time and
Mhm.
whatever that is.
Sure
Anyway,
does.
I'm gonna check in with the chat and then we're gonna get started. I think this one
Alright.
will be kind of easy. We are wanting to be very interactive tonight. So, we want you all to join in. Um,
Mhm.
we've got some questions that we
We
can
got
ask.
some
I think
Yeah, we got some
those are good.
stimulating questions to try to get the
Stimulating.
conversation going.
So anyway, welcome, John. You're the first one on there, so welcome.
Okay.
Mayor, it is always good to see you. Always, always, always. Lori, hello. I'm glad you're always comfortable. That makes me feel good.
Alright.
It's peaceful, quiet dance. Good to see you. Hey, Conda, very good to see you. Yeah, 2 days in a row. Oh,
Yeah.
you're working remote. Very cool.
Mm,
So let's see here. Patty's here. Good to see you, Evie.
right, Evie.
Everybody's coming in a little bit at a time, so that's
Mhm.
good. They'll we get so many more that in the summertime, the people that come in on the replay, the numbers really shock me. We'll have a
Mm,
really small chat and just not huge, but compared to the chat, it'll just
mhm.
like a bunch of them will come in like after dark, and I'm like, "Ah, it's summer."
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Gotta get
So,
that
y'all
daytime.
what? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, gotta get that daytime sun in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. So, last week we did a live that was about, finding your joy, and if you haven't watched it, I did link it in the description of this video, so you might, go watch that one afterwards or later or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, it kind of explains a little bit kinda where we're gonna be tonight, actually. The one we did last week was kinda about the difference between what happiness and joy is and how happiness is temporary.
Mm,
It can be a good mood, it can be, you had a good meal, you watched a good movie, or ice cream or, whatever,
mhm,
cheese enchiladas, whatever it is, and that makes you happy, and that's great.
mhm.
But joy is more permanent. And, that's something that's, like, deep inside you, so happiness is what happens to you, but joy is what happens in you. But the
Mhm.
thing is that happiness upon happiness upon happiness, they build joy like a brick wall, like you're building a wall. And
Yeah.
so all these little happinesses that you have, it might not be permanent, but it's helping you build something that is permanent. And so, that's where we're at today is we're gonna take a look at the permanent side of it. Because in really bad times, like, be it grief or, a divorce, you've lost your job, you've lost your home, whatever it might be. You can
Mm,
think of hundreds of different things that are dark times in somebody's life, and but you still have to be able to find joy. And the reason that joy is so important is because joy is what gives us the absolute certainty, whether it be through your faith or just your knowledge, just the certainty that everything might absolutely suck today, but it's going to be all right. It might not ever be the same, but it's going to be okay. And it's even going to be good again at some point. And without that, can you imagine how depressing it would be if you didn't have that certainty
yeah.
that, I mean, because I know, I mean, and I don't I'm not wanting to say, like, that your grief, like, "Oh, it's gonna be fine." That's not my point. You're
Mhm.
gonna have to grieve whatever it is you're grieving. You're gonna have to go through whatever you're going through. It's just
Sure.
knowing and having the faith that one of these days, it's gonna get better, and then it's gonna get
Mhm.
better, it's gonna get better, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
So, anyway, so that's kind of where we're at today. We're gonna look at how joy can help us through those hard times, and I do have some slides that we can read. Hopefully, we can see them better than what we've been having, but,
Okay.
anyway, I, um, I think that they'll be helpful and kind of give you guys ideas, and I wanna know what you do. Like, if you're going through a really hard time, what do you do to make it okay? What do you do to know that it's gonna get better?
Mhm.
'Cause without that, what do we have, really?
Absolutely.
So, basically, I've got 5 slides, and it's finding joy in hard times. There are 10 different tips, and
Okay.
these may not be actual joy, but they will help you find joy within you. So,
Mhm.
you know or help you build joy, again, like brick walls, bricks building a wall. So, the first one is look for micro joys, and it's like small everyday pleasures, a good cup of coffee, the sound of rain, your favorite song. All of those things really can be powerful mood lifters. And an idea that the professionals gave, not Susie, but professionals gave, was to keep a joy journal where you note at least one tiny joy each day. Like, it doesn't
Mm.
to be this huge thing. It can literally be something that just made you feel like everything's okay, or
Mhm.
okay. And so that's one.
So, a question I'll pose for the chat based on that is, chat, when life feels heavy, what do you reach for? Music, prayer, friends, or something else that gets you
Yeah.
through it?
Yeah.
Let's start a discussion.
Yeah. We wanna read these, but we want y'all to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I could bring every one of you on here, I would. I really would. That would be ideal for me,
That
because
would
I
be really
love
cool.
the actual interaction. I have
Mhm.
to do a Zoom call sometime.
Mhm.
I keep it under 13 hours, y'all.
Under 13 hours and totally free.
Yeah, and totally free. You won't have to I won't charge you for it.
So, number 2 is shift your focus to gratitude. Gratitude doesn't erase pain or sorrow, but it can refocus your mind on what's still good.
Mhm.
And the tip they give is write down 3 things you're thankful for every morning, no matter how small.
Mhm. I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now, and I'm getting ready to start the micro joy one, like just the something small, and even if
Mhm,
it's one thing, I
mhm.
mean, it can literally just be. Have you ever just, like, been really down and a complete stranger has just smiled at you or something, not like a big
Yeah,
toothy grin, but just like a hi, or just said, "How are you?" or something, and for some reason, it just hits just right.
yeah.
Those are the kind of tiny things that stay with us.
I had a conversation, unfortunately, I don't see B in the chat, but she'll probably be in here at some point. Her and I had a conversation the other day about, um, people in the service industry
Mhm.
in particular. I've noticed, and I don't know if you have as well, because you probably don't get out as much. But when I
Guess
go to
not.
restaurants or things like that in this post-COVID era, I notice that there are a lot of people in the service industry now who don't seem to really enjoy their jobs very much.
Yeah.
And, I notice that I get bad service more than I get good service now.
Mhm.
And, you just get servers with attitudes and,
Mhm.
it's bad. And so every time, and I throw this out there because my mother waitressed for a long time
Yeah, I
when
did
we were kids
too.
growing up. And I saw what kind of stuff she had to go through with,
Mhm.
idiot customers and
Oh,
just
yeah.
people being rude in general. So I get it. But I make it a point whenever I get really outstanding service, I will ask the waitress to call her manager over.
Mhm.
And they usually give me a really scared face, like, "Oh, no, I'm about to get in trouble." And I will, in front of the server, just tell the manager what a great job they did,
Yeah.
what great service I got. And, it's little things like that, just a server going the extra mile or giving you
Mhm.
that extra smile, that can make my day. I can walk into a restaurant in a horrible mood,
Mhm.
and somebody just showing just a little bit of extra kindness, you wouldn't believe how far
Yeah.
that goes.
And in return, that's doing the same for that server.
Yeah,
More than
absolutely.
likely, that is
And
doing
it
the same. That may be that she or he just had a string of crappy customers,
Mhm,
or they just got chewed out by their boss for who knows what, probably something that wasn't even their fault. I've been there.
mhm.
And somebody just being nice to them. Just absolutely being nice, and I try to do that with servers too, because 'cause I've been there. I have absolutely been
Yeah,
there, and it's like, it's not a fun job. I mean, it can
no,
be, but dealing with the public is rough,
it is,
really rough.
it is. And it's like we talk about, like, on YouTube all the time, you could get 98 just glowing
Yeah,
comments and 2 shitty ones, and those 2
yeah.
shitty ones will stay with you for days.
Oh, I know, I
People just
know.
don't
Even
understand the power of kindness. I mean, just a
yeah,
smile or a kind word can be enough to
mhm.
make somebody's day. So
Yeah,
spread some kindness,
absolutely.
y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Alright, here's the next one. It says that works, doesn't it? It says, "Stay present. Anxiety and sadness often live in the past or future. Bring yourself back to the right now." And it says to practice deep breathing, mindful walking, or focusing on one physical sensation, like holding a warm cup of tea or coffee, anything to
Mhm.
bring you to right now,
Yeah.
and not be, they all they what is it they say that, you can't change the past and, the present or the future's not here yet, so you can't
Mhm.
do anything about that. And there
Right.
is some truth to that, and we do, you know, like I remember when my mom died because Sunday is her birthday, and so, I've got my mom on the brain, and we just had
Mhm.
the anniversary of her passing and everything. But so anyway, but when she when she was dying, actively dying, like the, day or 2 before and the day of and everything, I remember just having all these thoughts about, "What am I gonna do? She's not gonna be here for the holidays. She's not gonna be there. She's my rock. What am I gonna do? I don't think I can do this without her, blah, blah, blah." It was all about what was coming,
Mhm.
and I was just an absolute basket case. I couldn't function because I was so tied up in grief that I hadn't even really experienced yet. You know it's coming, but I
Mhm.
don't care how much you know it's coming. It doesn't smack you right in the face until it smacks you right in the face.
Yeah, it creeps up on you slow, and then it hits you all at once.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And so, I don't know what it was, but I changed my way of thinking about it, and I didn't it wasn't any big thing that told me other than I just thought, "I can't do this. I can't worry about tomorrow or next month. I've got a very minute time to spend with my mother." And
Mhm.
so I started just being in that moment, and just, like, whatever she was doing in that moment.
Yeah.
And I was just really so much more at ease. It just was a wonderful, wonderful way to just, like, be in the moment, because if it was just me and my mom sitting there, I would have been in the moment. The
Mhm.
difference was I knew this grief was coming,
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, and so
Mhm.
sometimes, guys, seriously, just be in the moment. Do
Yeah.
something that brings you back and, like deep breathing, mindful walking, the holding onto something warm. Anything, it doesn't even have to be warm, sometimes it can be a worry stone. I mean, it can be
Yeah.
anything that brings you back to right now. So
That brings up a thought that I was having too. So I'll pose this for the chat. So,
okay.
chat, what do you think's harder, finding joy during times of stress
Mhm.
or finding joy after a loss? I'm curious to know what everybody thinks about that because I have thoughts.
I do
Um,
too.
all
What
right.
do you think about it? Which one do you think is harder for you? I mean, because what's hard for you might not be the harder for there's no wrong answer is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But
I think it depends. I was just gonna say
mhm.
there's really no one size fits all answer to
Yeah.
that. I think that um so like if I'm having a stressful day at work, I work with people who kind of feed off of each other's energy.
Mhm.
And if one of us is having a bad day, the rest of
Mhm.
us try our
Yeah.
best to lift that person up. And we usually do it through humor.
Yeah.
We'll tell a silly dad joke or something like that
Yeah.
just to make the person laugh. And it's it's things like that. I find joy in that. I find joy in lifting other people up when they're down. I also find joy when I know that I have friends or colleagues that care enough about me to
Absolutely.
try to make me laugh to get me over that. Loss is a whole nother ball game. It's tough to find joy after loss. It really is.
Mhm.
And depending on the circumstances of the loss, like if you have a family member who's dying and you know they're dying, and
Mhm.
you know you don't have a lot of time left with them, you can, as you say, you can stay in the moment and you can
Yeah.
live every minute that you have left with that person like it's the last.
Mhm.
And that afterwards can give you joy. Um, One of the things that I do, and I always go back to my daughter who, in
Mhm.
October will be 11 years since we lost
Mm.
her. Her death wasn't a complete surprise, but it did also, um, we thought was making a turn for the better, and then
Oh,
everything just went south within 24 hours. So I
yeah.
felt like, it was expected, but not. Um,
Mhm.
But one of the things after she was gone, as time went by, that I was able to do is just remember all the silly, goofy things that she used to do and her laugh. And,
Mhm.
I put pictures of her in every room in the house. And they're usually silly pictures. They're like pictures of her with stuffed animals surrounding her and just her face sticking out, or, a time where
Yeah.
she was cracking up laughing, or I get a lot of joy remembering the good times. I try not to
Mm.
wallow in the bad times,
Absolutely.
and that helps bring me joy too. So I think it
Yeah.
just depends on the loss.
When my mom passed, in the moment that she passed, because I was the one that said, "She's gone," kinda deal. I was judging her breathing and everything, and I
Yep.
can remember for just a second feeling absolutely crushed with grief, just absolutely crushed, and then
Mhm.
I felt this just overwhelming joy at knowing that she was not hurting anymore, that
Yeah.
she was not sick anymore, and I absolutely it was the strangest thing because whenever I turned to tell everybody that she because they were all around the bed, obviously, but
Mhm.
anyway, so when I turned around to tell them that, she's gone,
Mhm.
I smiled. I had this huge smile on my face. I could feel the smile. I
Right.
could feel the joy almost shaking me. It was the strangest thing.
Mhm.
And I know that it was, knowing that she was better off. So for me,
Mhm.
most of the grief, the losses that I've suffered
Mhm.
have been that kind of thing where they are in such a better place. They are not hurting, they are not sick and all that. And
Right.
so for that reason, I I think for me that stress gets to me worse than grief. Grief
Mhm.
is this horrible, horrible thing, but there's also that joy in knowing that they're better, they're not in
Mhm.
pain, and no matter what anybody's belief system is as far as religion, and everybody knows what mine is, but even if you don't believe they've went on to some great, wonderful place like I believe, at least you know that they're not in pain and they're not sick,
Exactly.
and so,
Exactly.
that's where I can find the joy in that, but it's hard to find
Mhm.
joy whenever when you're, stressed, it
Mm.
just seems like that the stress for me anyway,
Mhm.
that it, tarnishes everything, it just I don't know.
Well, as your friend, I can say from experience that one of the things that I always try to do when you're stressed is make
Just
you
make me
laugh,
laugh. Yes, he does.
because I know that if I can make you laugh, that I can give you just that little bit of joy,
Mhm.
that will make it, that much better,
Yeah, it does. It does
and
help.
less of a burden. So it's good to have friends around you. It really is, and
Absolutely,
I
that's why,
realize
I'm
I
always telling all of you guys, "I love you so much. Thank you so
Mhm.
much."
Well, and I also realize that not everyone is as lucky as we are to be
Mhm.
surrounded by people,
Oh, yeah.
and they have to kind of find their joy, where they can. Um, so, that brings up another question that's been on my mind. So, do you believe joy is something that we find, or is it something that we make for ourselves?
Wow.
Now, I
I don't
think
know.
it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think you have to be able to find joy in non-traditional places,
Mhm.
like I said, in loss. There's not a lot of joy to be found in
Mm-mm.
loss, but if you think about it and you think about silly times that you had with that person,
Absolutely.
or, things that make you laugh about them and make you think fondly, that can give you
Mhm.
joy. And I also think that sometimes you have to make your own, and
Absolutely.
when the world is at its darkest, we talk a lot about, you know, inappropriate humor or things like that, like laughter at a funeral or something like that. Um, it's when you least expect it.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can find joy in the weirdest places, but
Yeah.
you have to sometimes make it for yourself. And,
And
either
I think
way,
I think number 4 goes along with what you were saying about what you try to do for your friends and for me, you know.
Mhm.
So if you wanna read that one.
Sure. Connect with others. Yep, exactly. So even a short positive interaction can spark joy. Remember,
Mhm.
joy doesn't mean everything is magically fixed. It means you know it will be okay. So call a friend, join a group, or even chat with the cashier at the store or your
Or a
waitress.
waitress. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, that the last interaction I had with a waitress, I said to her, I just want to tell you that I am so just impressed with you, with the
Wow.
service and with the extra smile and everything. And she said, you know what? Thank you so much for that. She said,
Mhm.
I have had the day from hell. I have had one horrible customer after another. And it wasn't that they were mad at me. It's
Yeah,
just I'm the face of the company. So their
yeah.
food was terrible. It's my fault. It's
Mhm.
too hot in here. That's my fault. It's too cold in here. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Somebody spilled something on the floor and I stepped in it. That's my fault.
Mhm.
So she said, "Thank you so much because that just made my whole day." And,
Oh,
now that gave me joy and her joy. And
absolutely,
we can both walk away with something from that. So
absolutely.
it's a little thing,
Okay,
but it can mean a lot.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Number 5 is serve or help someone else. Acts of kindness not only lift others up, they can create genuine joy for you. Examples: bring a neighbor a meal, volunteer, or send an encouraging text.
Mhm.
This goes along with what we were saying too. It
Mhm.
absolutely does.
Absolutely. Incorporate movement, gentle
Mhm.
movement, stretching, walking, dancing. It all releases feel good endorphins. So put on an upbeat song and move. Dance
Yeah,
like nobody's watching or are, if that's your thing. Move for 3 minutes, no matter your mood. Yeah.
absolutely. You'd be
Mhm.
really surprised what 3 minutes can do, it's
Mhm.
amazing what something just such a tiny bit of time can really do.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let me add these. Okay, limit joy thieves.
Mhm.
Boy, recognize what drains you, doom scrolling, toxic conversations, and set boundaries and keep them. Practice, give yourself a joy budget. Only allow a certain amount of negative news or draining content.
Mhm.
Last week we talked about too that you can think of as joy like a savings account where you add them, you just make a deposit, make a deposit, make a deposit, and it builds that your balance. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of the same thing with, with a joy budget, like only allow yourself so much bad before you're like, okay, I have to excuse myself from this situation and go watch a funny movie or dance, whatever it is. I mean, if you need an
Mhm.
hour or 2 hours, you need 3 minutes, whatever it
Mhm.
is. And I
Absolutely.
really think that these can be helpful. They
And along
these seem so simple, that sometimes you don't think of just the simple things. Like
well,
we think, "Well, what do I have to do?" I need to go do this or that. No, just
yeah, you
give
don't
yourself
always
one
have to
second.
climb a mountain, y'all. You
Yeah.
really don't.
What is
Sometimes
it
it
they
can
say,
be
"How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a
one
time,"
bite
or
at a
something?
time. Yep.
Yeah, one bite at a time.
So
I don't
then
really
going
wanna eat
along
an elephant, but you know what I mean.
well, no. So going along with that is create a joy box.
Yeah.
Fill a small box with items that life you
That
up,
you that yeah, that light you up, yeah.
light you up. Photos, letters,
Actually, it's
scents.
supposed to be lift you up, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
lift you up. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
photos, letters, scents, favorite snacks. Pull from that box when you feel low. That's a really
Mhm.
good idea. I never thought of that one.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I saw that and I was like, "Wow, that one's cool."
Mhm.
I mean, I find a lot of joy in looking at photographs because, we used to photographs used to be a big deal. Now we snap pictures all the time with our phones, but before, you had to,
Yeah.
like, get the film and go and take the picture, and
Right.
take it and
Pull
be
out the photo
developed.
album and put it in your lap,
Yeah.
and yeah, I
You
still
go
do
get
that. I
go
mean,
pick your film up and 3 out of 24 pictures are okay and the rest are like crap, you know?
yeah, those were the days, weren't they?
They don't know how good they have it now, they just
Yeah,
don't. But
absolutely.
yeah, but I love photographs and I love seeing the evolution of photographs, from like back in, a long time ago, years ago, when people were
Mhm,
so stern looking and, everybody, you know, looked like it was just the end of the world and of course they probably felt like it because a bunch of them were taken like during the depression and everything. But
yeah,
but as you watch it come forward and how the evolution of it from these very posed pictures of grumpy looking people.
yeah,
And if you happen to remember those people, you don't remember them being like that. You remember them being your grandma or something, and being
mhm,
smiling and giving you bananas, even though you absolutely hate them. And but anyway, I swore that the road it wasn't really a road. It was this private road, a driveway.
mhm,
It was the only gravel road that I had ever seen when I was growing up in California, but my grandparents lived at one end of this road because my grandpa worked for the ranch that my dad was the foreman of, and then we lived at the other one. So we would
mhm,
walk back and forth between my grandparents and our house every day. And my grandmother, when we would leave, she would give me a banana. She'd give us all, whoever was there, a banana
mhm.
to eat on the way home. Well, I hate bananas, and so I would always instead of just saving it for one of the kids, I don't know why I didn't think about that, but I would toss mine, and I'm shocked that there's not banana trees or something grow.
I don't think I've ever met a person in my life that didn't like bananas. It
I
seems
hate
like I don't
them.
know you at
I
all.
I hate them, and my mom hated them too. She would get a
My
banana split without the banana.
Oh my god. My favorite thing growing up as a kid was peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah,
Mark likes those too.
love it.
Yeah. Neither one of my kids are really all that crazy about it. Now, Katie, she'll eat them, but
Mm,
Megan, she's like, not so much, but yeah, we
mm.
have a banana aversion. Like, I literally will gag. Like, if I taste
Wow.
anything that tastes like a banana, like a banana daiquiri, and if they give me the banana daiquiri instead of the, whatever daiquiri, then as
Mhm.
soon as I taste that banana, I'm like, "Whoa." I mean, it's not just a dislike, it's a, no.
It's like a visceral response.
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely.
that's weird.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So we literally just have 2 left. I knew this was gonna be kind of a shorter show. Hopefully, the
Mhm.
chat will keep us busy for a little
Yeah, we
bit.
got lots of questions.
So anyway, number 9 is find beauty in the ordinary. Look for small signs of beauty around you in ordinary things. The way the light hits your kitchen table, the color of autumn leaves. Here's an idea, snap a picture each day of something beautiful that you noticed. When I
Hmm.
was typing this up and I was like typing on there to, like the way the light hits your kitchen table, I was thinking, when the light hits my kitchen table, I see that it's dusty because we never eat there. So that's going to depress me more. But
All right, I gotta
anyway,
show this real quick because this is too funny. Mary says, "That's it, Susie. I can't watch somebody who doesn't like bananas." I know, right? That's so random and weird.
no, no, I like most things, but not
Yeah.
bananas
When
or
I discovered banana
yeah.
splits as a kid, I thought, "Oh my god, I've invented the wheel. This is something that my mom would approve of because it's healthy and it's got my favorite thing in the world in it, ice cream." You can't
Yeah,
go wrong.
yeah, I'm that way with, hot fudge sundaes, but I have to get, like, the chocolate almond ice cream and then put hot fudge on it.
Mhm.
And then I really like it if they have, um, oh, chocolate chips, and I'll put chocolate chips on it, and
Okay.
so it's like chocolate on,
Yeah. Darcy says, "That's bananas not to like bananas."
Yeah.
Glor
Uh, mm,
Glorfindel West says, "I just had to eat some frozen banana."
oh, yeah. I wish I
Oh,
liked them. Like, the
you
idea of it seems great, and they
yeah,
mix with a lot of things.
and they got
What is it,
potassium,
potassium
they're
that
good
they've
for
got?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm weird.
Mm. All right, number 10, give yourself permission to laugh. It's okay to experience joy. Even when times are tough, joy and grief can coexist. Action. Watch a funny video, revisit a favorite comedy, or spend time with people who make you laugh.
Mhm.
Laugh at the absurdity of funny memories. Mhm.
Absolutely. We've
Mhm.
all got funny memories. I
Mhm.
fall back on memories so often whenever, times get bad. I just
Oh, yeah.
that's my go-to is memories, and that's why I think that I fall back on photographs so much because
Mhm.
they bring back those memories, and
So
it's
here's a
so
question
funny.
for you guys. Has anybody here ever found joy in the middle of grief? Like a funny memory at a funeral or a laugh when you least expected it? I'm
Mm,
one of those people.
me too.
I'm the inappropriate laugher because humor seems to be my antidote to sadness. When I get down, and I mean really, really down,
Mhm.
I have to find somebody that make me laugh or make myself laugh somehow.
Mhm.
But that's usually what pulls me out of it.
Yeah, yeah, I have to tell this story. Um, my dad, he's 77, he's at that age where he's losing a lot of his friends. Some of them are older than him and everything, and
Hmm.
I seem to have somehow, when my mom passed, inherited the job of being his go-to when we go to funerals. I have to go with him. So I have been to a lot of funerals, and a lot of funerals for older people. And a lot of these funerals, the family will sit at the front of the church or wherever they're having it, and
Hmm.
then everybody in the back, right? Or not back, but you know what I mean, behind the
Yeah,
family.
behind the
And
family.
and so anyway, a lot of these people, who's in the back? All these old people. And so I feel like so much of the time I go to these funerals and I'm literally like the youngest person there except for the people way up at the front that are family. And
Yeah,
I'm sitting amidst all these old men. And especially if it's a funeral for a man, it's like some of the wives don't go, the older guys just all get together and go and, all this. Maybe they had breakfast once a week or they were, golf buddies or, whatever the deal.
sure.
So anyway, oh my god, John. I'm sitting in this funeral and my dad, who needs hearing aids, and we are fighting over this constantly. I even bought him the ones that you can get on Amazon, and he won't wear them. So he's going to the ear doctor, and he's going to get hearing aids because our homes are about 500 feet apart, and about the 250 foot mark, I can hear his TV. So, but anyway, so you can imagine we
Uh-huh.
are in this funeral, and so my it hasn't started yet, but people are coming in, and it's kinda to the point where it needs to start being quiet, or it has already started,
Hmm.
and my dad says, "Hey, Bert, Bert, Bert," and then it takes Bert a minute to hear him, and he looks back and finds dad, and he's like, "What?" And dad tells him something. "Did you know he was 87 years old?" And I'm like, and then all the other old men are turning around. "He's how old?"
Hmm.
"Well, how old was he when Betty died?" And, "Well, I think he was probably 76," and, and the
Having a whole
funeral's going on,
conversation in the middle of a funeral.
and I'm like, "Oh my god."
And of course, they're both half deaf, so they're yelling so everyone in the church can hear them.
They're all half dead, and I'm looking, and the family's, like, turning the ones that are under about 70 are, like,
Hmm.
looking back, and I'm like, you know, but
I don't know these people.
yeah, but at the same time, I'm laughing my ass off inside.
Exactly. Hmm. And
So
sometimes, and that's contagious. And the next
yeah,
thing you know, everybody in the church is laughing, and
yeah.
you know, it just lifts the
Because
whole
they'll
spirit of
also
the
a lot
thing.
of times they'll laugh because I'll be like going, "Shh, shh, quiet, quiet,"
Hmm.
and I'll get my dad quiet, and then somebody next to him be like, "She's making him be quiet. I guess we're talking too loud." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus," you know, and I'll look. So now if there are some of us that we know, because like other daughters have to go with their dads or whatever, we try to
Hmm.
sit like every couple of them. Like we separate them every once in a while, and that way we can each kind of smack, at on each side, like hush it.
Yeah. I've thought about that a lot. Somebody asked me once, what kind of funeral I wanted.
Yeah,
And I said, when I die, I don't want to have a funeral. I want to
yeah.
have a big giant barbecue. That's
I
what I
think it'd be
want.
fun.
I want everybody to come to a barbecue and just tell stories about me and,
Yeah,
and laugh and have a good time because that's what I was about. I wasn't about sadness. So I
yeah.
don't want people to be sad.
That's kinda how my mom's was. I got up and I read the eulogy or whatever. I wrote it and read it, but I
Hmm.
tried to have it with things that were funny and good memories and stuff about different people so that I could, like, say, and, "John over there," or, "So and so over there, blah, blah," whatever, and
Hmm.
tell memories, and that got the people kinda laughing and cutting up because I
Yeah.
thought, "I know these people can't hear, so we're gonna have to at least get them to laugh," and I had a microphone for me so that that would help them hear me,
Hmm.
and so
Hmm.
we did that, and my, nephew, he's a country singer, and he has, like, a record deal. He's kind of, beginning to be kind of a little bit of a deal, and
Oh,
so, you know how that goes. It takes a while, but he really is getting
sure.
some attention, and my
Hmm.
mom was just always so proud of him. So, anyway, he, like, sang a couple of her favorite songs, and then the preacher, like, he talked for, like, maybe if it was 10 minutes, I'm shocked. It was probably, like, 5 minutes,
Hmm.
and he really was just, like, welcoming everybody and just, "This is so wonderful," and everything, and when we
Hmm.
went back to the church afterwards for the meal, one of the, youth or music ministers that was there at the funeral, he said that that was the best funeral he had ever been to, but that people were happy, that, obviously you're grieving, but
Hmm.
that, you were finding joy and happiness, and that when I was working up this show, I kept thinking about him when he said that, bringing finding joy in sadness, and I thought about
Absolutely.
that, and so
Yeah, I
it's
want
out
people to
there.
remember me fondly. So I
Yes,
want them to leave, the funeral, barbecue, whatever, you know, laughing and remembering funny things about me, not
absolutely,
being sad, you know.
absolutely. Now I'm gonna go to
Mm.
the, start comments, we can do that.
Yeah, I started a few.
Yeah. Darcy says that she goes for music and friends. Absolutely. That bring you joy, that's a good thing.
Mhm. That works
Music
for
and
me.
friends are wonderful.
Mhm.
Well, you might have to unstar that. For some reason, my fingers are not working. Patty says something in nature like the sky and the trees. Absolutely, Patty. I say so often that I feel closer to God, and I don't know what your religion is, and I don't it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But for myself, I feel more spiritual, closer to God, that kind of thing, closer to my mom who's passed, my sister who's passed, whatever,
Mhm.
in nature than I ever have in a funeral. And that's why my mom, she said that too, and that's why she said she did not want her funeral in a church. She wanted it outside. And so that's
Mhm.
what we did. And thank God that it was not, horrible weather. It was hot.
Right.
July is going to be hot in Oklahoma, but it was beautiful, really.
Mm.
But yeah, something in nature. I absolutely get that. Yeah. And Patty says she's never really thought about the difference between happiness and joy. Super good info. Thank you. I didn't either, really. And
Mhm.
what I said last week, hello puppies, is that I've got 4 in here now. Yeah. They just keep coming.
The
2 of
gang's
them aren't
all
even
here.
mine. So, but I had it kind of backwards. Like I thought that joy was in the moment kind of thing, and that happiness
Mhm.
was something that lasted all the time, but whenever I started researching, I had it
That's what I
completely backwards that, happiness is fleeting, which I've heard that,
Yeah.
but joy lasts, and so that's
No,
yeah.
if you'd asked me, I'd have gotten that one wrong too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do, and I think it's kinda cool to know now, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely.
So Darcy says, "I have so many deaths in my life that I have a numb feeling." I get that.
Mhm.
That's kinda how, whenever we lost the 2 cousins on the same day, and then literally within weeks, they had the flood down in Texas, and we lost family friends in that. One
Mm,
who's never been found, even though they say everybody's been accounted for. If you ask Keela, she knows that's not true. There's still about 100 that are unaccounted for, but the
yeah.
news is being the news, telling us
Mhm.
what they
I
think
was a
we wanna
little
hear.
upset about that, Susie. I heard a woman,
Mhm,
I don't remember if they were testifying before the, Texas legislature or
mhm,
what the venue was, but a woman was saying that she lost her girl to the Camp Mystic,
mhm.
part of the flood, and they still, to this day, have not found her body, so
But they say
I
everybody's been
said
located.
yeah, I said that, the state and everybody has been jumping up and down saying everybody's been accounted for, and it sure doesn't sound like it.
No, mm-mm.
So,
You know,
for
that's
those
I mean, I have 2 people that have never been found. So
mm,
and I thought maybe they had and that it just hadn't trickled down to me, so that's when I removed the candle that I had in the corner for all the victims and everything, because everybody
mhm,
was saying, "Yeah, it's they've found everybody, but they haven't," and I keep meaning to put it back up, but I don't know if they'll ever
that's
find them. To be
that's pretty
perfectly honest.
upsetting. It really
It
is.
is upsetting, very.
Mhm.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Awakened.
Mish.
Yeah, sending everybody love. So
Somebody once told me I couldn't change the world. I simply smiled. Aw, Mish. My dear friend, you and I
yes.
share that in common.
Mhm.
It's something I say a lot, you know. People always say, "Well, I'm only one person. I can't change the world." Well, guess what? It's the only thing that ever has.
Yeah,
So, you
one
can.
person at a
You
time.
absolutely can.
You might start a revolution and just don't even know it.
Mhm.
Everything starts somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yep, Mary, you're right. If you see someone without a smile, give them yours. Yeah,
Mhm.
give them one of
Kindness is
yours.
free, y'all.
Everybody, that is so important.
Mhm.
So lately, I
Such
get
a
a lot of
blessing.
joy of listening to my loved ones breathing and my
Hmm,
own drinking of tea.
hmm.
Wow.
That's
I,
interesting.
I
I like that.
yeah, I like it is weird. I kind of get what she's saying because sometimes, I mean, it's one of those things that it kind of feels weird and yet,
Mhm.
oh well. Sometimes whenever I'm really down, and you know how pets seem to know it, they know if
Mhm.
you're sick, they know if you're sad.
They sure
And
do.
Mags, she'll come in and she'll lay up against her back up against me and we'll like spoon, we're laying there all snuggled up together and
Mhm.
she's a heavy breather. And so I'll just be listening to her breathing.
Mhm.
And Mark will come in, he'll be like, "What are you smiling about?" And I'll be like,
Mhm.
"I don't know." I guess I didn't think about it till I read this, that listening to someone breathe. Absolutely.
The one thing in my life I think that always brought me the most joy was holding a baby in my arms
Mhm.
and listening to them breathe and just watching their faces, as they stretch
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh, I
Everything they
know,
do is
it's
cute when they're
amazing.
babies, everything,
Oh, I
and it just
know.
fills my heart with so much joy.
Or their giggle. I
Mhm.
love to hear them giggle. I love to watch them eat when they get it in their mouth and then, they spit half of it back out and you put it back, and
Yeah,
you know, I just
yeah.
for
I
some
miss
reason, I can't help but be happy. I don't know why.
I'm an old man now, but I miss babies, I
Yeah,
really do.
I do too. Oh, by the
Mhm.
way, I just got
Mm.
some news.
You
I'm gonna
did?
be a great-grandmother again.
Oh,
Yeah, number 2. I'm hoping for
excellent.
her. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this one because when Kai was born, I was in the
Mhm.
midst of all of the chemo and radiation, and I was sick as a dog,
So
and
you
I
didn't
was
get to enjoy
bald and
it.
everything. What was so funny was that he would really like me and everything, and I was bald, but the
Mhm.
first time that he saw me and I had hair, he would look at me like,
Who are you?
"Who is this?" I'm like, "It's me. It's
I still say
me."
you look too young to be a great-grandmother, but
Well, I don't
that's just
know,
me.
if Megan hadn't have married Curtis and he's older, not a lot, but a
Mhm.
little, and he
Mhm.
already had children, so it's technically my step-granddaughter that has these babies, but they're mine.
Mm.
They've been in the family for years and years, and they were friends of our family. Curtis's parents and my parents were really good friends always, and so there's
Mhm.
just all these connections between us, and So it just is wonderful. But yeah, I still think I'm too young too, but I do it.
Yeah, just roll with it at this point.
Hey, it's a baby. I don't care. If I
Mhm.
could have a baby right now, I mean, I'm 59 years old, and if I could have a baby right now, I'd have one just because I love babies.
Yeah,
Just
I
I
miss
love
them.
kids in general,
I
so
miss having babies, I really do.
yeah, yeah. So, if not for the pain, how can we appreciate the joys that exist as well? Very wise.
You can't have the sweet without the bitter, right?
Absolutely.
I get tired of hearing that sometimes, but it is true.
Lori, you would be surprised how good that feels. I we
Mhm.
live so far from town. I mean, even the next town over is probably 20 minutes, but I mean, any town of any kind of size is like an hour away. But I found ways to volunteer other ways. And one of the things that I like to do is to cook. And so I actually found a couple of families in our area right here within 2 miles of my house. This
Mhm.
has been, well, now it's been like 3 years ago because it was pre this last cancer. But right before that, I found these two families that I knew them both. They were, good families, whatever. One was like, um, it was actually a grandma and grandpa, and they were raising the 3 boys. And then the other was just a husband and wife, and both of them were in bad health. And so, I started cooking for them 3 days a week, and I
Mhm.
would just on those 3 days, I would make stuff like soup or chili or a giant roast or whatever that could easily feed a lot of people, and I would take it to them. And sometimes I would, like, get it all ready if I was gonna be gone and take crock pots to their house and say, "Just let it cook, and you'll have it when you're there it is. Just
Yeah.
eat it." It brought so much joy to my heart. Like, I still can think about taking them food and them being like, "Oh, I smell," whatever it was,
Yeah,
and just the
absolutely.
joy that it brought them. And I think I probably got every bit as much out of it as they did. That wasn't the point, but
Sure.
it is what it is. I got a lot out of
Yeah,
it too.
it doesn't have to be see, I think the common thread in this whole live is that I think we sometimes think that we have to make these huge,
Yeah,
grand gestures in
yeah.
order to make a difference, and sometimes it's the tiniest little thing, and it
Mhm.
can give you as much joy as it gives the person that you're pointing it to. So, it sounds cliche, but kindness is free and it doesn't cost you anything,
Yeah,
It doesn't.
absolutely. I mean, you don't have to like, on the deal like I did, you don't have to cook 3 meals a week or whatever. You can
No.
if you make a cake, take somebody a piece of cake. If you've got, like,
Mhm.
an elderly neighbor or something, give them a piece of cake
Absolutely,
or
and you
something,
could
or
make their whole day.
yeah, yeah, you just
Mhm.
never know.
Yep.
Glorfindale West says, "I have flashes of joyful memory of the living and the dead, and sometimes I go numb or feel great grief." Absolutely,
Yep.
I do. I get it.
It's like we always say, y'all, healing isn't linear. It
Mm-mm.
comes and it goes, and there'll be
Absolutely.
happiness and sadness, and you just gotta
Mhm.
roll with it.
Absolutely. Most of my losses have been instant loss. Those are so hard.
Yeah,
It would be easy to fall into chronic yuck, but I try my best to look for every single tiny blessing I can find. Absolutely.
that's all we can do.
Absolutely. I think that I think that that's why, like, I can find joy in, like, my mom's passing because I knew it was coming and everything. Now my sisters, I can find no joy.
Mhm.
It was instant. It was She was fine. She died of a what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Seizure from that fen-phen
Mm,
diet. So, she was
mm,
absolutely fine, had a seizure, died. That's
yeah.
something those Misha, I get it. Those, instant, you know, that's awful. Those
It
are
almost
hard.
yeah, it almost makes it twice as traumatic just
Yeah.
because of the shock of it all. It's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, absolutely. Linda says, "Hi, everyone. Wanted to say hi, but I can't stay long. The New York Giants are playing in a few minutes, so I'll be on replay." Hey, I get it.
Priorities, Linda, priorities.
Yeah,
It's almost college football season. We'll all be doing that pretty soon.
I know, right? Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
You've laughed at a memorial. Absolutely. I have too,
Mhm.
but a lot of it's because of my dad and his little cronies around there. I've just after so many, now I'm just like, whatever. But I always go back and because I always tell Megan, I'm like, you've got to go with him next time. You gonna have to sit
Mhm.
through this. And she's like, no.
Just experience it.
So I always go back to Megan's and reenact the whole funeral. And then Bert said this.
Right.
And so then Wyatt said this. And then, so then,
I really
oh
like
my
this one from
goodness.
Mish. Mish says, "Yep, we had a tea party instead of a real funeral for Christina.
Aw.
No black somberness, party dresses, and big floppy hats. I wore a huge pair of Minnie Mouse sunglasses that hid my face in tears."
I tell you one thing that probably was the oddest reaction that I had at a funeral one time.
Mhm.
It was at the church. It was a friend of mine. He had been sick a while. The family is all friends of our family. It's like this big deal. Big, like well-known family, you know. And so anyway, I was the church secretary at this point. And so
Mhm.
it was kind of my job to like I got up right as we knew it was ending and would go out and go down to what they call the fellowship hall just to make sure that those that were setting up for the meal for the family and everything, that everything was done, and to
Mhm.
kind of greet people and tell them that there's a meal down, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So anyway, I was doing that and oh my god, it's so embarrassing. So I like always sit at the back if I'm gonna have to leave. And so I
Mhm.
like go out the back and there's the two big wide doors that how they'll have those big doorways going into the sanctuary. So
Sure.
anyway, so I walk out those big doors and I almost run into this couple that are standing there. And you
Mhm.
can tell that they're listening, but I don't know, at the point I'm like, why didn't you go sit down? I mean, there's extra chairs. We have brought in chairs everywhere. There's people in rooms,
Mhm.
everything. And I look up, I kid you not, it is Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood.
Oh my god. Wow. I would have
Yeah,
fainted.
and I go,
I love
"Holy
them both.
shit!" Right in the church. Holy
Country
sh
music's power couple. Wow.
and I know they heard me. Nobody has ever said a word, but I know
Mhm.
and Garth, like, grabs me and hugs me, and he goes, "It's okay." And I'm like,
Wow.
"Oh my god, I just
You
said
got
that
to
in church."
touch Garth Brooks? Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so funny. He was friends with this family, and
Mhm.
they didn't wanna cause a stir.
Right.
You know, but they wanted to be there, and so they were there, and then, like, I helped them get back out without anybody knowing that they were there. I took them out a back door so they could,
Oh,
make a quick exit and everything, but yeah, I was just like
wow.
but I cannot believe to this day that I yelled, "Holy shit." I mean, in
I
church.
swear I swear to God, Susie, you need to write a book one of these days. You've
Oh
got
my
so
god.
many good stories.
Oh my god. Yeah, embarrassing
The
stories.
Life of Susie, a compilation. I'll write the
I better do
foreword.
it quicker, I won't remember all my memory's pretty bad. Like, I hadn't remembered that story until today, I hadn't thought about it.
Mhm.
Aw, Mare says funerals on her side of the family are full of laughter, not so much of my hubby's family.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, certain cultures, I think, lean
yeah,
into it more. I know the Irish
yeah,
are big on happy funerals and
mhm,
yeah.
yeah. My side of the family, I think it's a lot of there's a lot of happy memories. We tend to, try to hang on to those and not to
Mhm.
sink so deep. But like with my sister, there was no joy in that one. There just wasn't. Everybody was
Yeah.
that was the biggest funeral that the church that we were attending had ever seen or has still seen.
Oh,
They had
wow.
every single room stuffed and the parking lot was full. They put up speakers so that people outside could hear it.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's still the biggest. So,
That's the
it's
one that Garth and Trisha were at?
no, the one that
Oh.
they were at was big, but it wasn't as big as my sister's, which was surprising. It was
Mm,
probably one of the top 3, maybe
mm,
top 5 or something, but
mm.
but yeah, it was just
Wow.
something. But yeah, who would have thought you're gonna walk out of your your little country church, and there's gonna stand Garth Brooks and
I'm
Trisha
telling you, I
Yearwood.
would have fainted. I am such a fanboy for him.
And the thing is, I knew that they were friends, but
Mhm,
I saw everybody that walked in, didn't see them, thought, well,
mhm.
they're not gonna be here. Briefly just kinda thought that and went on about my life, and then, yeah, they are here.
Holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit. At least I added the holy.
Yeah, that's true. Marks for that
Nobody
one.
said anything to me about it, so maybe the music or something drowned me out. I don't know,
Maybe.
'cause
You
my
get
dad
marks
would
for
have
the holy.
probably said, "What the hell were you doing?" I'd be like, "Listen, dad, I hear you."
Someone
Uh,
says, of course, there were more tears than laughter, but we did our best. We even blew bubbles with favorite memories in each one that
oh,
flew to heaven with our love.
oh,
Oh,
that's beautiful.
that is
That is
beautiful, Mish.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Mm. At my funeral, I want that, the the one that it's the Hawaiian guy, I can't think of his name at the moment, but he sings that, um, "It's a Wonderful Life" and "Somewhere Over the Reindeer." Yeah, "Over the
Somewhere over the
Rainbow."
reindeer? Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good one.
Apparently, I'm gonna die at Christmas. No, that "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," and it's "What a Wonderful Life," those songs, I want the
Hmm.
Hawaiian version of it, though.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
"I don't care. You can have somebody sing if you want, but on that song, I want that CD or whatever is, happening at the
Hmm.
time. That's the song I want because Hawaii is really my happy place. That's where I feel most happy and at home and relaxed. And so that's what I want. And so that's
Well,
the only specification I've made.
I have a question then. Since I'm your work husband, does that mean that I get to go once in a while? Because I
Yeah.
like Hawaii too.
Yeah.
We could go whale
Why
watching.
not? Yeah, why not? We'll just like take
Drop me a line,
everybody.
Mark.
Yeah. It was so funny because we were talking about Hawaii one time and Connor was this was right after Megan and Curtis got married and Connor looks over at Curtis's son, Ashton, who's of course my grandson now,
Mhm.
and says, "Don't worry, Ashton, grandma and grandpa will take you. They'll pay for everything." I'm like I'm like, I told the kids, I said, "Y'all gonna have to quit having kids because it's getting a little too expensive."
Mayor says, "New song, Somewhere Over the Reindeer."
Yeah, somewhere over the reindeer. Oh, guys, you just
Uh,
have to know. I mean, there's no telling what is gonna come out of my mouth, obviously.
well,
Yeah, Evie
that's what
says the
makes you
Irish
you.
wakes I've been to have been full of laughter. I can only
Mhm.
imagine that it would. I
Yeah,
really can only imagine.
the Irish have a good time.
Aw. Wow, Mary,
Oh,
your sister did a
wow.
puppet show at your mom's celebration of life. That's
That sounds really
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Ugh, okay. Misha says, "Grr, everywhere we go, people are trying to take away our truths. One reason why this topic is so important. They can try to take away our dignities, our sanity, our they can, they can only take it, Yeah,
Mhm. Oh, did
absolutely.
I miss a part 2 of that? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Mish. Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Hi, Brian. Good
See
to see you,
you.
sir.
Yeah. I do think that dancing or music and dancing at a memorial would be good. Absolutely. We
Yeah,
went to
I do too.
my husband's uncle's and there was like, music and stuff afterwards. It was great. I mean, it really was. A
Yeah.
lot of the like cowboy type funerals that I've been to, they'll have some kind of, like a shindig after, they'll
Yeah. So I'm saying I want a big old Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
I wanna invite everybody.
Uh,
Uh,
Absolutely.
Gary says, "I once felt that it was selfish to put my joy first. After years of healthy living, I found a balance."
Yeah.
No, Gary. Never,
It
never
goes into
selfish.
that you gotta take care of yourself first, like, reach for the oxygen mask first and then put it on
Mhm.
somebody else.
Absolutely.
Oh, Carrie, yeah. Belly laughs from babies,
Absolutely.
children, and giving belly rubs to my dog, Rocco, is just
Mhm.
fantastic. Absolutely.
One of my favorite things on Facebook is to watch those short clips of a
Uh-huh.
baby just cracking up laughing. God, I love that so much.
Oh, I do too. The one that cracks me up, it is a dog because I love dogs. But anyway, there's all these little ones, and it'll be some little teeny tiny dog, right? And
Mhm.
and she'll be like, you know how they put the voice to it, and it'll be like, "Let me outside right now. I need outside right I'm gonna shit my pants."
Yeah. What was that one you sent me the other day? It was it was something about dogs. Dogs don't something. And
I
there's this
can't
little dog in a
remember.
basket, and he was like, "Bullshit,
Yeah.
bullshit." And I was laughing my ass off. It was so funny. It's such a
That's what
silly
I reach
thing, but
for when it's a
yeah,
bad time is I reach for that crazy kinda stuff,
absolutely.
that you
It
can't help but laugh.
You can't
It
help but
doesn't
laugh,
take the
exactly.
grief away. It doesn't
No,
take it away, but it just
no, but for
lightens
just a
it for a
small portion of
yeah.
time, you're thinking about something else. And we end on
Never
this
call
one.
it a
Mayor says, "Never call in an Irish funeral. It's a wake, and it's supposed to be loud enough to wake the dead."
Oh, yeah, that is true.
There you go.
Well, guys, I appreciate you all so wow, we ended up at an hour, a little over. Who'd have thought? I thought for sure yeah,
TikTok.
somewhere
I'm
over the
always paying
line
attention.
there. Yeah,
So I would
sure.
like to, before Susie ends this, I would like to end this with a question. And so we've had a little bit of fun with this, and we've learned some things. And I would like you to leave a comment in the comment section below after the live is over and answer this question for me. What is one small thing that brought you joy this week, even if just for a moment? I'd be real interested to hear your thoughts.
I would too. Yes, please come back after the show and put that in the comments section. That would be fantastic. Aw, needed this tonight. Thank you, Susie and John. And for all the cool kids in chat sending love to all well, like I said yesterday, if they won't accept it, they are batshit crazy.
Absolutely. We
So
love you, Misha.
so thank you all for being here. John, thank you so much. You know that I can never thank you enough. You are the light that I need so much of the time. Thank you so, so much.
I love it every time we get to do this together, my
I
dear
do too.
friend.
I do too. I do too. Next week on Thursday, we're gonna do finding your joy, keeping your joy, whatever, in the Burr months. If you wonder
Mm,
what the Burr months are, that's September, October, November,
yeah,
December.
December.
Because we know that once school starts, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, those are rough times for a lot of people whenever we
Yeah, they
think we're
are.
supposed to be so happy. And for a lot of people, it is anything but happy. And so I really, be thinking in the next week about things that you do that help you get through whatever that tough time, even if it's not a Burr month, whatever it is.
We'll call it
Think about
things that
what
make
helps
you
you.
go brr.
Yeah, things that make you go Burr.
I'm looking
But
forward to that
anyway,
one.
I am too. I really am. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's going to be more of a chat too, like this one where we,
Mhm.
really want to talk because, I mean, there's only so many times that we can say, make a list, and those are all great. But if I just keep saying that every week, they're gonna be like, "Okay, we get it. We're making lists."
She's the list lady
She's
now.
the list lady. Susie gonna tell us to make a list.
Yeah.
What's funny is I have lists all over the house, and then when I get somewhere, I never have whatever list I needed. So a lot of good those do me.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop this up real quick just so
Oh,
people
okay.
know. So that's why we started the 24, 48-hour live feeds during the holidays,
Yeah,
so nobody has to go it alone. Yep,
absolutely.
this
I
will be
remember
year
that.
3
Yep.
that we've been doing this, so
Yeah, I
we
think
have a
that
lot of
is
content creators, more each
absolutely.
year volunteer to do it, and we
Yeah,
literally go for 24, 48 hours
yeah.
straight.
I'll definitely help out. Just get with me.
Mhm.
Remind me because you know my memory. I'll
Oh, I
forget.
will. I'll be
But
right here with you.
yeah, but we'll do that. We will definitely do it. So anyway,
Absolutely.
guys, I'm gonna go. I will see you guys on Saturday. I'm gonna take tomorrow off. Mark's got some scans, nothing big, just
Mhm,
checking everything. So anyway, we're
mhm.
gonna spend the day together. Go have some lunch and some fun. Find some joy, I guess, right? And some cheese
Absolutely.
enchiladas, no doubt. I haven't had any in a long time. I was telling you that the other day.
You're
Been like,
overdue, yep.
yeah. So anyway, thanks guys. I'll see you Saturday.
Have a
Bye.
good night, everybody. Take care.
Hope you enjoyed the show. So glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.